Well, hey there, moon lovers. This is Peter Skov at Music is a Journey. Today I'm participating in a thread that was created by an interruption, the Rallstonian's music report. Sorry, I made a mistake in the original recording. On with the show. The channel that I only just found out about thanks to this thread. I've gone back and checked a couple of his videos now, including his acronym contest entry for Steve at All the World's a Stage. A channel which was kind of like a backbone to the VC community in a way, like Steve's channel connected so many channels and he supported so many people, but as I understand it, Steve had some problems, maybe with spamming or whatever, and his channel suddenly vanished. I do hope Steve comes back. It must be really heartbreaking, though, to have to close down your channel after having posted so many hundreds of videos. So I do hope that Steve comes back again. But anyway, Steve, if you're watching, hi! We miss you. But this is, of course, for the Rallstonian Music Report. Greetings, sir. I've left a couple of comments on your videos already, and he is creating this thread, his first thread, after having been on YouTube for about 4 years now. So well done, creating a thread, I mean, and for being on for so long. And this was inspired by the fact that there was going to be a lunar eclipse visible somewhere in the world in September. Okay, so I actually have been kind of on and off or in and out of people's music videos recently because I have been watching a lot of videos about gravity and time-space and, of course, flat earth debunking videos because I just love those. So I am more than happy to participate in a vinyl thread that celebrates the moon. Yes. So before, the thread, by the way, the thread is to show 3 to 5 songs that have the moon in the title. And if you actually want to talk about a song that's not in your collection, that's fine too. I first saw this thread on Embryonic Robot's channel, and when I saw the caption to his video, I immediately thought of how, oh, this was going to be about moon on the album cover or something, and then I found out it was songs about the moon. So I've decided to approach this a little bit differently, and Brian at Embryonic Robot already knows what I'm going to do because I said in the comments what my idea was. But before that, I want to just point out a couple of things here. So I've showed this before, I think. This is a t-shirt for Gore Music, actually Gore Fusion by Gore Music. This was a single, instrumental single called Moonwink. It is Gordo Bennett on guitar and programming and all that, and Joe Soronowski on bass. And Gordo is a friend of mine, so he asked me to design the cover for his single release. So this is all something I designed. And for those of you who know my YouTube icon, Music is a Journey icon, it's this guy. And you probably also notice the original styrofoam ball in the background here. It's superimposed with an image of a full moon. So there we go. Also, it's probably been more than 20 years now. This book, the original first edition, was published in 1995. I've certainly have had it for almost as long. Discoloring of the pages and everything. This is What If the Moon Didn't Exist? Voyages to Earths That Might Have Been by Neil F. Cummins. And this is a book of several chapters of hypothetical Earth scenarios. So first, what if the moon didn't exist? How would have Earth evolved to its present state without a moon? Other chapters, what if the moon were closer to the Earth? What if the Earth had less mass? What if the Earth were tilted like Uranus or Uranus, however you want to say it? Others, what if the sun were more massive? What if a star exploded near the Earth? I think there are 10 chapters in total, if I remember correctly. Yes, indeed. Well, there are 9 hypothetical situations. So, what if the moon didn't exist? I read this way back when. I've kept the book, though, because it was really interesting and inspiring. So, let's get on with it. Rather than do 5 songs that name the moon in the title, I have created 5 different categories about having the moon. And I believe the very first one, this is an album cover that features the moon. This is the Japanese heavy metal band Ningen Isu and their 2013 album Mandoro. And Mandoro means like a, I think it was something like big and luminous moon. So that's why they have this big luminous full moon on the cover. This was an interesting album for the band because although they started out as a heavy rock, heavy metal band inspired by the British heavy giants of the 70s mostly, their career took them through various stages of heavy, hard music, sometimes a little on the psychedelic side, sometimes occasionally songs going into a little bit more thrashy-like or speed metal-like territory. But throughout the 2000s, they were experimenting with lighter areas as well. Still hard and heavy music, but not as hard and heavy as the earlier stuff. However, they were invited to perform at Ozfest in Japan. And so I guess the band leader anyway, Shinji Wajima, guitarist and one of the two vocalists, decided that the band, if they were going to play at a metal festival, they should metal up their sound a bit. And so there was return to down tuning and giving the guitars a more metal sound and getting back to the more metal type riffs. So there's some really great tracks. This actually might be in my top 5 Ningen Isu albums out of the 23 full-length studio albums they have. A couple of the songs on here, oh gosh, yeah, I have to try to read the Japanese in this small writing. White against black and, yeah, anyway, whatever. There are some songs in here that I really like. Okay, so that is an album with the moon on the cover. So next, a band with moon in their name. This is a band called Moonquake from Canada. I don't know if you can see it, but there is a satellite or satellite space probe, whatever, moonlander jammed into the ear of this moon-faced moon, faced moon with a face, and there's a little Canadian flag on it. Anyway, this is Moonquake. They released 2 albums in the 1970s. The first one, more of a rock sounding, a little bit progressive in places, kind of those like longer songs with multiple parts, that type of thing. Some really great songs on this. And then they did another album which was a little bit more poppy and kind of, if I recall correctly, almost approaching disco. Whatever it was, I didn't get it because it wasn't really my thing. But this here, it's their self-titled album. I think it's from 1973. Here we go, 1973, reissued by Unidisc. There we go. So that's Moonquake, a band with moon in the title. Now we're going to go to, well, there's actually moon on the cover here too, and the album title is Fire on the Moon. So yeah, for this one here, we're going an album with the title, with moon in the title. This is Fire on the Moon by Mother's Army. Mother's Army means the army for Mother Earth, and this was a band, they released 3 albums in the 2000s, and most of the themes were kind of environmental cautioning, like we're doing these things wrong here, people, and it's time we wake up, kind of a themed band. And good lord, this band is a kind of, it's a super group, and I don't remember everyone who's on there now because I bought this like years ago. Jolyn Turner is on vocals on here. One of the Night Ranger, oh here we go, Jeff Watson, that's right. It says produced by Bob Daisley and Jeff Watson, so I'm going to say it's Bob Daisley on bass, Jeff Watson on guitars, Jolyn Turner on vocals, and I think it was Carmen Appice? Still nobody knows how to pronounce his name, right? Every video I see of people mentioning him, nobody knows exactly. Is it Appice? Is it Appice? Is it Appice? Anyway, that fellow from Vanilla Fudge and King Cobra and so on is on drums on here. So it is kind of a super group in that way. So this is an album with moon in the title, Fire on the Moon by Mother's Army. Next up, and this is the whole point of the video in the first place, the thread, it is to have songs with moon in the title. So going with Blood Ceremony's 3rd album, The Eldritch Dark, from, what is it, 2016, I kind of want to say 2014, 2016, probably 2014. There is a track on here called Drawing Down the Moon. And the album that came out after this also had a song called, it was a song called Half Moon Street, but I'm going with Drawing Down the Moon from this one here. So a song with moon in the title, Drawing Down the Moon from Blood Ceremony. Okay, this is, by the way, a Canadian kind of early 70s, late 60s doom rock, stoner rock, progressive rock, witch rock, occult rock type band. Really cool, one of my favorites, in case you haven't heard me talk about them before. And finally, why the heck not, let's pick a band member with moon in his name. Of course, it has to be this fellow here applying a giant tube of Medak to his enormous pimple on his face. What did it say here anyway? There used to be a dark side to Keith Moon. Not now, not anymore. If acne is preventing you from reaching your acme, use Medac, the spot remover that makes your pits flit. Put Medac on the spot now. Yeah, so there we go. Keith Moon. All right. Are there any other Moons out there? Possibly. Maybe in Korean bands, but I don't have any. So that's my contribution. Remember, the actual thread is 5 songs with Moon in the title. You don't have to do it the way I did it. I just did it this way because that's the kind of person I am. And I will put the link to the original video in the comments. So there we go. My contribution to the thread about the Moon. See you in the next one, everyone.